Your baby has been awake for 4 hours. You can see the exhaustion in their face. Their body signals are clear. They refuse to sleep, not crying, not fussing, just studying the ceiling, or your face, or the pattern of light on the wall. Every parenting resource labels this a problem. An overstimulated baby. A baby who cannot self-regulate. But when developmental psychologists tested this behavior directly, they found something those parenting resources had completely missed. The baby who cannot stop taking in the world is often the baby whose brain is processing more of it than anyone realized. That refusal is not a deficit. It is one of 6 signs. And most parents never recognize a single one. The natural assumption. A high IQ baby hits milestones early, walking ahead of schedule, talking before other babies, developing faster visibly. That assumption is in every article ever written on gifted infants. It feels completely logical, but in 1986, developmental psychologist Marc Bornstein and researcher Marian Sigman published a landmark study. Their research came from Columbia University and the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. What they found ended the early milestones assumption permanently. The real markers were not what anyone expected. They were not visible in milestone charts. They were visible in the moments most parents were trying to fix. Bornstein and Sigman were studying a process called habituation. Habituation is the speed at which your baby's brain decides it has finished collecting information from a specific object or stimulus. A stimulus is anything that triggers a brain response. A face, a toy, a sound, a pattern. Here is what they measured. They showed infants the same visual stimulus repeatedly. They timed how long each baby continued paying attention before looking away. Then they followed those same children for years. The finding was striking. Babies who habituated fastest at 6 months, meaning babies who got bored with familiar stimuli most quickly, scored significantly higher on IQ tests at age 5, not slightly higher, significantly higher. Joseph Fagan at Case Western Reserve University replicated this independently. He built an entire infant intelligence assessment around this single mechanism. The Fagan test of infant intelligence. It is still used by researchers today. Think of your baby's brain like a computer processor with large working memory. A processor with more capacity does not spend longer on each task. It finishes faster and immediately scans for the next input. Your baby is not getting bored. Their brain is finishing and asking for more. 6 signs developmental researchers have linked to extraordinary cognitive capacity in infancy. Most parents misread every one. Sign 1. Rapid loss of interest in familiar stimuli. Your baby loses interest in the same toy or pattern faster than other babies their age. New object arrives. Intense focus. Then within minutes, they scan for something else. John Colombo at the University of Kansas tracked infant attention patterns against cognitive outcomes at age 7 through the 1990s. Babies who shifted attention faster in early infancy showed stronger working memory scores by school age. Working memory is your brain's capacity to hold and manipulate information at the same time. The quick look away is not inattention. The look away means the processing is complete. Sign 2. Unusually sustained attention on genuinely novel, complex objects. This appears to contradict Sign 1. It does not. Babies who habituate fast to familiar stimuli often show the opposite behavior with something genuinely new. They lock on. They study it. Without distraction, for longer than seems possible for an infant. Ellen Winner at Boston College documented what she called a rage to master in gifted individuals, not in school-aged children. In infants, a rage to master is an intrinsic drive, meaning internally generated, to understand something fully before releasing attention from it. It is not taught. It is not encouraged by the environment. It appears to be present from birth in infants with high cognitive potential. Sign 3. Sleep resistance despite visible physical exhaustion. Your baby's eyes are heavy. Their body signals are unmistakable. They still refuse to disengage from the environment, not because they are uncomfortable, not because something is wrong, because their brain has not finished collecting what the day offered. Linda Silverman at the Gifted Development Center in Denver documented this consistently across thousands of gifted infant assessments. Sleep resistance combined with intense alertness from birth was among the most frequently reported early characteristics in parents of later identified gifted children. This is not a regulatory failure. It is a nervous system that captures more and needs more time to process what it collected before it can power down. The reason these signs cluster together in high-capacity infant brains comes down to a single biological difference. The bandwidth is wider. Think of your baby's nervous system like a finely tuned instrument with an unusually wide frequency range. A standard instrument captures a defined range of signal. An instrument built with wider range captures everything the standard instrument catches, and additional frequencies the standard instrument cannot register at all. Your baby's nervous system may be calibrated to a wider input range. It detects more of the environment per second. It processes more. It therefore requires more time before it is satisfied enough to disengage. More input collected requires more habituation time, with familiar stimuli to fully process, more novelty seeking to keep the wider bandwidth adequately stimulated, more resistance before sleep because the processing queue is simply longer. The Fullerton Longitudinal Study at California State University. Fullerton tracked infant behavioral characteristics from birth through adulthood beginning in 1979. Researcher Alan Gottfried and colleagues consistently found this cluster, meaning the simultaneous presence of multiple high-sensitivity infant behaviors was one of the strongest infant-level predictors of later intellectual ability they measured. The signs are not separate. They are the same nervous system width, visible from different angles. Sign 4. Heightened sensory sensitivity. Your baby startles at sounds other infants sleep through, reacts to texture, changes other babies ignore, responds to lighting, shifts nobody else in the room noticed. The assumption: this is fragility, or colic, or sensory processing difficulty. Kazimierz Dabrowski, a Polish psychiatrist and psychologist, developed a framework in the 1960s that researchers have since applied extensively to gifted individuals. He called it sensory overexcitability. Overexcitability means the nervous system responds to sensory input at higher intensity and for longer duration than a standard calibrated nervous system does. Think of it like an advanced weather station. A standard weather station reads temperature, wind, and rainfall. An advanced station reads those measurements and 20 additional variables simultaneously. More sensors do not indicate fragility. More sensors mean more data collected per moment. Sign 5. Early detection of changes in routine and environment. Your baby notices something changed in the room before you do. You moved a familiar object. They stare at the empty space. You altered the feeding sequence. They become unsettled before you have even started. Renée Bailar-Jean at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign spent decades studying infant physical cognition. Her research found that some infants develop what she called violation of expectation responses significantly earlier than developmental norms. A violation of expectation response is when a baby reacts to something that does not match their internal model of how the world works. Babies who built detailed internal world models earliest showed the strongest cognitive outcomes at follow-up. Sign 6. Advanced reading of caregiver emotional states. Your baby responds to shifts in your emotional state before you have expressed them outwardly. You are tense but not showing it. Your baby becomes unsettled. You relax. They relax. Without a word spoken. Andrew Meltzoff at the University of Washington's Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences documented that some infants show advanced social referencing significantly earlier than developmental norms. Social referencing is the use of a caregiver's emotional signals to interpret the surrounding environment. Advanced social referencing before 6 months was a documented characteristic of infants who scored higher on later cognitive assessments in his research. But here is the finding across all of this research that surprised even the scientists running these studies. The 6 signs most reliably linked to high cognitive capacity in infancy were also the 6 signs most frequently flagged as behavioral problems by pediatricians, by parenting resources, by everyone. The babies who were hardest to settle, most demanding, most resistant, were often the same babies whose brains were running the farthest ahead. If this is new to you, subscribe to NeuralNursery, a new topic like this every single week. 3 things every parent should know after this research. First, do not try to eliminate the signs. Build around them. Here is why this works. Nancy Robinson's research at the University of Washington's Gifted Development Unit found a consistent pattern across decades of study. Parents who identified high cognitive capacity markers accurately and adapted their environment to meet the underlying need produced significantly better developmental outcomes than parents who tried to suppress the behaviors directly. Better emotional regulation, stronger long-term academic performance, more resilient social behavior. Here's exactly what to do. For rapid habituation, rotate stimuli. Do not buy more objects. Rotate what you have. A toy that bored your baby 3 weeks ago is novel again. A familiar object placed in an unfamiliar arrangement produces the same novelty effect as a new purchase. For sleep resistance, extend the wind-down sequence before the sleep attempt, not the sleep duration. The approach: give your baby's nervous system 30 additional minutes of quiet sensory reduction before bed. Dim lights progressively. Remove sound sources. Slow all movement in the room. You are helping a wider frequency instrument power down gradually, not forcing a switch to flip. Second, the optimal stimulus level matters more than any enrichment activity or developmental toy. Here is why this works. Colombo's attention research at the University of Kansas found something specific about high-capacity infant brains. The most distress was not caused by understimulation alone. It was caused by being stuck at the wrong level. Too simple was frustrating. Too complex was overwhelming. The productive zone sat precisely between those 2 points. Colombo called this the attention engagement window. A baby inside their window is calm, focused, and quietly engaged. Outside the window in either direction, behavior deteriorates rapidly. Here is exactly what to do. Run a 20-minute observation across at least 3 stimulus levels: a single-color solid object, medium, a patterned object with 2 distinct visual elements, complex, your animated, expressive face with changing expressions and vocal tone. Note which level produces the longest period of calm, sustained attention without escalating to fussiness. That level is your baby's current optimal engagement zone. Build daily sensory exposure around that level. Adjust upward every 2 weeks as habituation sets in. Third, a highly sensitive, wide bandwidth, sleep-resistant baby is a genuine and significant parenting challenge. Do not minimize it. Here is why this is important. Research documented by the National Association for Gifted Children identified elevated parental stress and burnout rates in parents of high-capacity infants compared to parents of neurotypical children. Neurotypical means developing along the standard developmental curve. The demands are higher. The sleep deprivation is more sustained. The need for creative environmental management is daily. Here's exactly what to do. Build a rotation system with another adult in your household or support network. One person manages the stimulation environment. The other rests. Swap every 2 hours during peak sleep resistance periods. Your baby's needs are not a problem you failed to solve. They are needs that require a specific, informed response. And you building that response, starting now, is exactly what the research says high-capacity infants need from the adults around them. The next time your baby refuses to sleep at the end of a long day, remember what Bornstein and Sigman actually found. They did not find that the easiest babies became the sharpest minds. They found the opposite. The babies who got bored fastest with familiar things, who needed constant rotation of stimuli, who resisted sleep because the world was still too interesting to leave, who flinched at sounds nobody else noticed, who detected every change in every room before any adult in that room had processed it. Those were the babies. Ellen Winners spent her career at Boston College studying what giftedness actually looks like in its earliest years. Her conclusion was direct. The qualities that made those children remarkable were the same qualities that made them the most challenging babies to parent. Not in conflict. The same thing, expressed at different moments of the same exhausting day. Your baby scanning the room for new input at midnight is a baby the world has not yet finished interesting. Your baby reacting to every shift in your emotional state is a baby running a social detection system far more sensitive than average. Every rotation of stimuli you provided, every extra 30 minutes of wind down, every time you adjusted the environment instead of fighting what you saw, you were not just managing a difficult baby. You were building the conditions inside which a high-capacity mind was collecting everything it needed to understand the world. You did that without a research paper telling you to. You just did it because it was what your baby needed. That is worth knowing. If you want to understand more about what is happening inside your baby's mind, subscribe to NeuralNursery. A new topic every week. If this changed how you see one of those behaviors in your own baby, share it with someone who has ever stood over a wide-awake, exhausted baby at midnight and wondered what they were doing wrong next week. What babies actually hear when their parents fight. Researchers placed sleeping infants inside MRI scanners and played recordings of angry voices. What activated inside those sleeping brains changes how you think about every argument you have ever had. You are not going to want to miss it.